Hello, Heartland fans. Welcome to my reality. Heartland has quite recently wrapped up its 18th season finale, and presently, it is the right time to jump into the intriguing opportunities for the 19th time of this unbelievable series. Might you at any point trust it? 19 seasons as of now. It feels strange, isn't that so? For a show to stay this enamoring after almost 20 years is downright striking. For one thing, we should begin with some uplifting news. Lou is fine. Indeed, she's justifiably damaged by all that occurred, yet she's dealing with it shockingly well. Furthermore, here's the bend. She's initialed herself up to an organization with Nathan. Stunning, isn't that so? However, might I venture to say it, this disastrous episode might have been a genuinely necessary reminder for her. It seems like it constrained Lo to think about profoundly her life and connections. For probably the first time, she's understanding that cash and business aren't all that matters, which is an immense step in the right direction for her personality. In season 19, we'll probably see a more grounded, family-situated Lou, somebody who's attempting to develop the business with Nathan as opposed to against him. Discuss character development. Obviously, no season would be finished without another main adversary. And this time, it's Nathan's testing sister. Furthermore, indeed, I can read your mind. Why present another person at the absolute last episode of the time? It feels surged, right? Actually, I wish they'd acquire new faces prior, giving us an opportunity to associate with them. In any case, unfortunately, we presently have another lowlife around, and his sister is as of now turning out to be an expert controller, plan on causing all kinds of problems for everybody. She's the kind of character Lou subtly appreciates, facing a commendable opponent that Lou will take on with relish. This kin dynamic will without a doubt influence Lou, yet in addition Amy and Nathan's growing sentiment. Trust me, her intruding will cause a ruckus in manners we're not ready for. Discussing purges, might we at any point discuss Katie briefly? Briefly there, I truly thought we were going to lose her personality for good. It seemed like the show could give her a similar treatment as Georgie, sending her off with infrequent notices. What's more, coincidentally, might we at any point stop briefly to discuss Georgie? Not a solitary notice of her all through this season. Truly? After the entirety of her commitments, they anticipate that we should fail to remember she at any point existed? Furthermore, what's more terrible? How should she not even call Lou after such an enormous episode? Discuss a frustration. Be that as it may, back to Katie. Not at all like Georgie. Katie's story goes in a new direction. Right when I was beginning to think she'd gather her sacks and make a beeline for Vancouver, the journalists confused us. In a last-minute bend, she chooses to remain, needing to find herself and partake in her experience growing up a piece longer. Without a doubt, it's a special decision. Yet hello, bravo. The kicker? Katie remaining means a certain something. An adoration storyline is not too far off. Indeed, Heartland flourishes with Sentiment Show, and Katie is next. Bits of gossip recommend a circle of drama is fermenting for her in season 19. Actually, I want to believe that they handle it better than the dreary triangle between Nathan, Amy, and Caleb. That one simply didn't raise a ruckus around town beats we anticipated. Perhaps Katie's adaptation will carry a genuinely necessary zest to the show. What sort of accomplice do you see Katie with? Tell me your considerations. Presently, we should discuss Nathan. Dislike he didn't have his purposes behind delaying between his trust issues, originating from a swindling ex, his dad's sickness, and his own battles with weakness. The person had a great deal to manage, yet because of a little push from his dad, Nathan at last embraced his affections for Amy, giving us that endearing second we'd all been expecting. The hotly anticipated sentiment among Amy and Nathan following quite a while of development, we at last got the kiss. Indeed, Nathan has been keeping down for what feels like always, yet that delightful admission of affection toward the finish of the finale made the standby totally worth the effort. Looking forward, season 19 vows to take their relationship to a higher level. Regardless of Nathan's sister's plotting, Amy and Nathan will push ahead more grounded than at any other time. We're talking commitment, and in any event, wedding chimes toward the season's end. It's turning out to be one of the most heartfelt seasons since Ty's passing, and I, without a doubt, can hardly stand by to see it unfurl. All in all, what do you think about Season 18's finale and the impending season? Is it true or not that you are amped up for Amy and Nathan's future, or fearing the potential turmoil brought about by Nathan's sister? Tell me your expectations, and remember to like and follow for additional reports on Heartland. What's more, assuming you're into farm shows, make certain to look at my video on the screen about Yellowstone. You won't have any desire to miss it. Heartland has quite recently closed its 18th season finale, and presently the commencement starts for what's to come in the eagerly awaited 19th time of this cherished, long-running series. Might you at any point trust it? 19 seasons, it's inconceivable to see a show enrapture crowds for such a long time, fabricating a heritage that continues developing further as time passes. We should plunge into what could occur straight away, on the whole. How about we consider how we arrived? How about we start with the positive? Lou is protected and recuperating after the emotional and alarming occasions she persevered. We're feeling quite a bit better to own her pulling, regardless of whether she's profoundly shaken. Her versatility is genuinely rousing, and seeing her take this difficult experience and transform it into a chance for growth is astonishing. Shockingly, she's in any event, getting used to teaming up with Nathan, which feels like a stupendous shift for her personality. I can read your mind. Lou open to working with Nathan rather than continually clashing with him? It's difficult to accept, yet it appears to be this horrendous accident has helped her rethink her needs. She's understood that cash and business achievement aren't all that matters, and this revelation has made her an all the more balanced and compassionate individual. In Season 19, I think we'll see a side of Lou that is more centered around family and connections. She'll probably collaborate with Nathan to develop their business in a cooperative manner, making a unique organization we've never seen. However, as usual, there will undoubtedly be show. Nathan's sister, who was presented in the last snapshots of the time, as of now feels like an exemplary lowlife really taking shape. Presently, we should stop here briefly. Could we at any point discuss how baffling it is when new characters are presented in the last episode of a season? At the end of the day, truly, for what reason do they do this? It feels hurried and doesn't give us sufficient opportunity to get to know the new person or grasp their inspirations. Actually, I favor when new faces are presented from the get-go in the season, giving them space to normally develop and coordinate into the story. All things considered, Nathan's sister appears to be ready to start a lot of mischief in Season 19. She's cleverness, manipulative, still up in the air to unleash ruin. From what we've seen up to this point, she's probably going to turn into a definitive bad guy, focusing on both Lou and Amy in various ways. Yet, assuming there's one thing we are familiar, Lou, it's that she blossoms with a decent test. She'll figure out this new enemy, and I have presumably it'll make for a few serious and engaging minutes. In the interim, Katie's storyline veered off in a strange direction. Briefly, I really thought the show was going to discount her, similar as they did with Georgie. Discussing Georgie, could you at any point accept she wasn't referenced even once this season? It resembles the essayists believe we should fail to remember she at any point existed, which is extraordinarily baffling. Furthermore, what sort of girl doesn't call her harmed mother? It's so bizarre and feels like a botched and open door for some sincere show. Yet, back to Katie, right when I was preparing myself for her takeoff, the scholars shocked us with a last-minute bend. Rather than leaving for Vancouver, she chose to remain and zero in on tracking down herself. While this choice could appear to be special, it's an engaging excursion for the overwhelming majority youthful grown-ups, and I'm interested to perceive how the show fosters her personality in the following season. Obviously, Katie remaining means a certain something, sentiment. Heartland blossoms with romantic tales, and Katie is the ideal contender for another heartfelt curve. Bits of gossip recommend a circle of drama could be not too far off, which could at last give her personality the profundity and interest we've been sitting tight for. Hopefully this storyline brings the profound pressure that the Amy, Nathan, Caleb triangle needed. Presently, we should get to the part you've all been hanging tight for Amy and Nathan. Following quite a while of development, we at long last got that otherworldly second the kiss. It was the ideal result to a season-long excursion loaded up with dithering, weakness, and implicit sentiments. Nathan, who invested such a lot of energy protecting his heart, at last let his walls down, and it was totally worth the standby. All things considered, Nathan had a lot of purposes behind keeping down between his trust issues from a past relationship, his dad's disease, and his own battles with weakness. Yet, the delightful admission of adoration toward the finish of the finale made it all worth the effort.